So I am the Water Resources Engineering Manager, and I oversee our Water Resources Engineering Department. We review design plans, but we also oversee the construction aspect of various jobs that go on where we install water and sanitary sewer utilities throughout Cumberland County and the city of Fayetteville. I went to NC State to be a mechanical engineer, but along that I was able to take part in a summer internship with the Department of Transportation in the Resident Engineer's Office, which administers construction, heavy highway construction projects and bridge replacements and things of that nature. And I really enjoyed that and discovered I had a love of construction management. So I focused on that, and that was my career goal, was to graduate with a civil engineering degree and do some form of construction management. So as a woman in the construction field, you are a minority. There are not that many women, although there are more now than when I first started out in the construction field. But I've never thought that that was a disadvantage. I've never been treated any differently. I'm treated with the same respect as anyone else has been treated. I really enjoy it. I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the aspect of seeing things go from something on paper to the finished product. I really enjoy that. I mean, I'm out there with them. I know when I was doing my internship, we were testing concrete for the bridges over the river for the outer loop, and I was right there with them testing concrete, you know, not afraid to get my hands dirty. In fact, I enjoy getting my hands dirty. I enjoy how things work. I enjoy calculating, you know, when they, you know, check the grades on the pipe and things like that. I enjoy that. But yeah, I get right in there with everybody else. It's no difference. Oftentimes, when girls are interested in construction or math or science or anything like that, it can seem odd or out of place. But I just encourage them that if that's their passion, to pursue that. It's really important that you do, no matter who you are, no matter whether you're male or female, that you do what you enjoy and you follow your passion. And if your passion is something that's in more of a male-dominated field, you shouldn't let that stop you or hold you back. You should definitely pursue that. So I think it's absolutely an advantage to have both male and female perspectives in the construction industry and in any job, really. You just have that extra, you know, women tend to think of things from a different aspect than men do. Not that it's wrong, not that the way men think is wrong, but it's good for both of those to come together because you can definitely see things in a different light. And it really helps when you're trying to find solutions to problems, you know, when you come at it from a different perspective or a different angle or a different way of thinking. It is definitely beneficial. As a female in engineering and construction, I am absolutely excited to see our new general manager, Miss Elena Ball, her background in construction and the things that she enjoys and the things that she brings to the table is just really exciting for us as a department, and me, myself personally. I can't wait to see what the future holds with her in charge.
I started working on the Fayetteville annexation projects. Actually was doing construction management before I came to PwC, and we did the annexation construction management then, so I was already familiar with that and just gravitated to PwC once our contract was over. Once I got in the field, I just loved it. Enjoy being out in the field and learning different elements of the projects. Yeah, typically I go to my projects, see what's going on, check in, and then throughout the day I bounce back and forth around all the projects that are active or inactive. We will document our trips to our projects and what we've done throughout the day, the conversations we've had, the work like testing, if we've done any disinfection of a water line or anything like that. And we enter like final reports for our project when we complete them. So yeah, I'm using my computer. I have a locator if I need to locate. I have tools in my truck if I need to open a valve, if I need to find a service, if, you know, for whatever reason, I have pretty much everything in my truck that I can use. Interacting with men on the job has actually been pretty easy for me. I have interacted and worked with a lot of men throughout the years prior to coming to PwC. So when I got to PwC, you know, it's natural for me. When I get out on a project, they treat me fine. I mean, at first, you know, it's kind of like, oh, do you really want to go out there in the mud? Do you know, you might get your shoes muddy. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Well, you could drive up here. I'm like, no, I can walk out there. It's okay. And, you know, they're real impressed at stuff like that. But it's been pretty good. I would say for any woman who's thinking about getting into this industry, don't think that you cannot do it. I would say get out there and try. I said these men are very accepting. There are some men that are not, but they are getting used to it.
I'm the power plant inventory technician. I handle the $2.4 million warehouse with all of the parts that help operate the generation plant. The morning is spent a lot on paperwork, putting in purchase orders, receiving inventory, receiving against purchase orders, ordering non-inventory stock that we don't have, ordering stock. And then the afternoon is usually spent in the warehouse, putting up inventory. I work with Bruce, and he's really good about what goes on in here, and he helps me with all of the inventory in the warehouse. I'm not as strong as a man, so when it comes to lifting stuff, a lot of times I have to have Bruce. But a lot of times he comes out and says, hey, I need some more eyes, you know, when I run this forklift, and I'll come out and help him. Advantages, I think I bring like a mother type to the plant, so that the guys come to me if they need anything. I'm actually the first woman they've had in this position. It means a lot to me that they trust me in a position like this. I order parts for all of the boilers, steam turbines, and when I order them, I have to make sure that they're ordered correctly. The fit is going to be right, because when they start this plant up, you don't want any gaskets or anything else blowing, and it'd be major issues. So it means a lot that they trust me, even as a female, to get the work done and know what I'm doing. My advice to other women would be to go for it. I've actually worked in positions with men my whole career, from fleet. I've done inventory most of my life, and if it's something you enjoy, do it. I don't think that any job is specifically male or female. I think that anybody can do any job that they put their mind to it.
Well, right now I'm working as a groundman to work myself up to be eventually a line woman. I do right now all the ground electricity with the machines and all that good stuff. Just learning from bottom up. Well, before lineman, I was in the event industry for 16, 17 years. I was always high up and working with all kind of electricity and lighting and fabric and flowers and all that. And I always liked the whole moving around and making people happy and helping others in their private events and whatnot. So I kind of wanted to come into a field where I could also make people happy when they needed the most, and be able to be out there in the field, not be stuck in one building. So it can be challenging. It was a process for them to adjust to me and me to adjust to them by being the first woman out there. They were really scared in the beginning to the way they man talk around me and whatnot, but now I'm one of them and still treat me with respect, but I still do the same job they do. I'm part of the group now. Knowing that PwC been around for so long, it's an honor to be the first female to work with them, to be hired with a great company like PwC. I hope the next generation after me can be more women doing what I do. I just got my CDO. I passed it. I'm pretty proud of myself. I drive big trucks now. It was a little challenging because I drive a small car. So when I saw myself in a big car, it was in a big truck. It was a little scary, but I had to prove not to myself, but the ones around me, that I was capable to do what I needed to do. And I bought myself a truck now. Best part of my job, not just my coworkers and my bosses, we're all like a family, but just being out there and seeing when we bring to the community some light when they need it the most. Like now, it's cold, and when they have no lights, no heater, no nothing, and we show up, we bring a smile to them, and that makes me smile. That makes me love my job even more.
I engineer the fiber optics, but I've also engineered some of the electrical side, the distribution and the transmission. I actually started in PwC part-time working with Mark Tunstall as his assistant, and was hired on shortly after that as telecommunications specialist. And we were working with fiber at that time. PwC didn't have any computers. We didn't have email. I'm going to age myself, but we did, start the first network, and that was with Jim Martin, and it was with fiber optics, and I liked the technology. So I went from doing that into what is now telecommunications, and from telecommunications, they really didn't know what to do with the fiber, so they moved me into electrical construction so I can work with the crews. I have to engineer it. I go out in the field, let them know where to install it. It's a little different than electrical. According to National Electric Code and where it can be placed, there's a difference in power, and there's a difference in communication where it can be placed on the pole. So I kind of oversee the construction side of it in the field. But I've been through ice storms and hurricanes and Y2K and just about everything that we had to. And again, it presents its own challenge, but we can do the job. When I first started, it was very difficult. I was the only female that had ever been in electrical engineering or electrical construction. And most of the men there they weren't even used to females working. And those that were there didn't think that I should be with them in the field or in their job. So it was very difficult, but it's gotten a lot better. The ones that are there now, most of them, their mothers have been working. So they've made it a lot more comfortable. It's easier. Maybe there's a little difference of age, and it's more like a family now. It's like working with my son. I think they treat me as an equal now. I'm glad to see the new CEO. I'm glad to see that she has the construction and engineering background, and I hope it'll help the rest of the women that are coming into the field.